Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this channel. My name is Gishure Irungu. In this channel, we discuss about personal development, finance, and investments. If this is your very first time to be here, kindly consider subscribing and clicking the like button and sharing this video and the many others that you'll find under my channel. Thank you so much and welcome. Today, I want us to address an issue that is about to happen, and that is the discussion of the Finance Bill 2023. But I just want to address some three things that I think are critical to the common mwananchi that are contained in this bill, of which I hope our legislators will do something about. But just for awareness purposes and just for being, understanding what's going on, let's talk about these three taxes. Number one is what is called the income tax. And this one, we just want to speak about the TOT, turnover tax. The turnover tax is a tax that's levied on every coin that goes through a certain business over a period of time. You mean, you sell your breads, you sell whatever it is that you're selling, and then at the end of it all, you just see how much money has gone through your account, for example, or your hands, and then you pay a tax on that. This is done before you remove your expenses. It is done before you remove any other statutory deductions that you need to make. That's called the turnover tax. So it is levied on the turnover of a business. Previously, this was taxed on businesses that were making 1 million shillings and above, in form of turnover per annum. But now it has been reduced to 500,000 shillings and above turnovers per year. What this means is that if your business is making a total of 41,667 shillings in turnovers per month, you are required to pay tax. Just 41,000 shillings. What this also means is that if, for example, previously a business is one of those that was making 1 million shillings in turnovers per year, you would pay 10,000 shillings in tax per year, or 833 shillings per month in tax, in turnover tax. Now it has been raised to 3%, because previously it was 1%, now it is 3%. That means that every month, if your business is earning 41,667, now you need to put aside 1,250 to pay tax, or an equivalent of 15,000 shillings per annum to pay for TOT tax, or the TOT. Up from nothing, because considering that your business was not making anything, your business was not paying any tax because it was below the threshold. Now it has been included in that threshold. And for the ones who are making 1 million shillings and above in terms of turnovers, now they will have to pay 15,000 shillings per annum in the TOT, in turnover tax. What does this mean? When this happens, because this cost has to be absorbed by someone, when this happens, that cost will be absorbed or be pushed to the end user, where the end user is you and me. The end user is a person who is patronizing your business. The end user is that person that is buying that good or service from you, if you are a business person. Or the end user is me, who is going to buy those things. So expect an increase in the prices of goods and services to take care of this TOT. Cost of living just went up. Now, number two is the 3% housing levy deduction. Take note that this deduction will be done on gross income. So apart from getting the payee, the government is also going to take another 3% towards this levy, housing levy. Well, this is not a bad thing, because it encourages the culture of savings. And if you are interested in getting a house in future, you can draw from that fund. It also cushions very many other things in terms of the government trying to make sure that they don't need to borrow so much. It's not a bad thing, but what it means to the common mwananchi is that if you've been earning 100,000 gross salary, it means that an extra 3,000 apart from your pay will go to government. That means that you'll have reduced spending power. So remember, there was an increase in the goods and services. So you expected to dig deeper to pay for the increase in prices of the goods and services because of TOT. But wherever you're supposed to get that money from, your pocket, the salary, I guess most of them will not have gone up. The salary will still remain the same. It will have been raided again, some 3,000 shillings as an example, to go to the housing levy. So life became a bit tougher than that. So it's something that you need to consider when you are doing your budgeting. My previous video I've talked about budgeting, and I'll talk more about budgeting because I think this, if you have never budgeted in your life as a Kenyan, this is the time to budget because things are gonna get tough. And number 3, let's talk about the VAT on petroleum products. That's on petrol, diesel, and probably the kerosene and other petroleum products. But what will affect us most will be the full charging of the VAT at 16%, up from 8% on petrol and diesel. While LPG is becoming tax exempt, that means gas will be cheap. The prices of gas will go down. The prices of fuel, mafuta, hii tunaita, petrol, gasoline, is going to go up. Why? Because they have to cover the extra 8% that has been levied on VAT on this petroleum. So when the fuel prices go high, what happens? It means that transportation of goods and services will go higher, because now you would need to transport your things from Mombasa to Nairobi using a trailer. Now you have to include that extra 8% in the cost of transporting that, to take care of that. And then transportation, normal transportation, like moving from one place to another using a matatu, will go higher. The fares will go high. So what this means is that you're expected to dig a bit deeper to pay for your transport from the already raided payslip that you have. Well, I hope these taxes are going to be used for the right purposes. What it also means for this particular tax is that you expect higher power bills, because you see KPLC, or the generators of not KPLC but Akina Kengen, the ones who generate electricity, some of them use diesel. They have these big machines that use diesel, and that if you look at your power bill, you will see something fuel levy somewhere there, fuel something. It is because they use that to generate electricity, not just the hydroelectric. They also use diesel, generators to generate electricity and all that. So that cost is going to be pushed back to the consumer. And also the companies, the manufacturing companies that use diesel for their machines, like oil producing companies, they are going to increase their prices because now they have to take care of that 8%. So what this means for us is that we need to be able to understand that whereas we understand that the government is going through a hard time in terms of the money they have, it's going to cost us, and it's going to be a bit expensive to live, to operate in this country due to one thing or the other, of the things that we've discussed here and many other things on the finance bill. But it's good to understand that that is going to happen. When all is said and done, all is not lost. If we work hard, if we are able to generate more income via other side hustles, you may be able to cover your living costs, even if it goes higher. Otherwise, thank you so much. That is my time. Thank you for being here. If you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe. We'll talk more about the things that are happening in this country financially, and also personal development and how you can invest to make more money. My name is Gishure Irungu. Have a lovely day, have a lovely evening, have a lovely night. God bless you, and see you in my next video. Cheers. Bye.